No, it's in here, yeah. Do you want it now?
I'll admire it.
Do you want it?
I do.
Oh, yeah, sure. Come on, get it. Correct.
Oh, I'm
Oh, that's funny stuff. Sure. Kill the bubbles. So much stuff. Okay. Well, we're on, right? We're live here. We're live there. Hi, everybody. We were virtually waving during the opening video. Hello, everybody back on YouTube. The lights are on. This is running. This is preparing. This has never happened. It's never been this good. And I have to just say now, before we go any further, that I don't know how well it will stay this good, because they did a software update, and Zach and I both had been deciding not to do it. We were going to wait till the app updates, because usually how it works for everybody else. Welcome back to the Late Night Playset. For technical explanation, usually they'll update like an iOS thing with Apple, and then the app sucks for a little bit until they update the app.
Yeah.
So we waited till they updated the app. It's still been weird, but the stuff they have added, you might have heard a little bit. Here, allow me to play around a little bit. That one we'll use a lot. Use this one a lot.
Yeah, especially when you're interviewing me.
That is not correct. This one I like.
So magical.
These are just the ones in here. Like that one. But I did put in my own.
That's pretty cool.
Works back here too. Yeah, I'm out of pencils though. Okay, so welcome back to the Late Night Playset. Thanks for indulging us there. My name is Jay Ryan. To my right is Mrs. Nicole Ryan. And I got these glasses out. I'm not wearing them. And there we go. Tonight is Thursday, February 25th, 2021. Our guest is the car girl, Kayla. Kayla, is it Delehant? Delehant. Okay.
Delehant. It depends what holiday it is.
Well, I don't know what that means. Is it based on... well, I don't know what that means. Well... What is it? How is it today? Delehant.
It's Delehant, but sometimes people pronounce it Delehant.
So you prefer Delehant?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Well, it's as American as it gets then. Because when I was writing it, I was like, does she capitalize the L? I'm like, no, not at all. So it's really just written out. Okay, well, The Car Girl, she has her own YouTube channel that's blowing up lately. She's doing a build of a... I wouldn't call it a... What would you call it? It's a restoration, really. You're taking what was a customized, hot-rodded 911, and you're bringing it back to like a classic style that it originally was.
That someone actually drove it.
Yeah, we'll get into that when she's in here. But she's also got a new podcast coming out that we're going to talk about and a bunch of other things. So Kayla will be in here in just a minute. The big thing we have to get to today, and there are a couple things. Sound effects we already talked about. Software update I talked about. By the way, the internet seems to be an issue as well. Our internet went down yesterday, so I was on the phone with Spectrum for a while today, and they're coming out on Monday to what I can only assume is give us the 5G out at the pole.
Oh.
She's like, oh, yeah, there's a known thing in your area. And, oh, yeah, we've got to send somebody out anyway. And it was all very convenient. It was sort of like, oh, so they're just 5G and the squeaky wheels first. Whatever.
I heard you on the phone. That was the nicest call of Spectrum I've ever heard.
She was delightful. I never even did. Melissa, I think was her name, but she was delightful. Anyway, so that's what's going on here. Sorry about all of that. The only thing we have to do today is, what are you driving today? There's a TBT that we also have to do. I want to say, just because it's this week last year and it was Lit Week last year. It's been a year legitimately since the last big Porsche week.
Wow.
That means everything in the middle has been canceled since this one last year, which has been nuts.
That's nuts.
So those are the two things. And obviously we'll talk about St. Clair Insurance and Cruz into Wellness as well, because I can't help myself. And Kayla Delehant will be in right after that. Now I sound like I'm making fun of you. Kayla Delehant.
I like it better, actually. Delehant.
You like it better?
We're changing it tonight.
Did we just change your name?
Yep, we changed my name.
I mean...
All right. Is what it is. I'll take it. I like it. Delehant. We used to know a Delahousie?
Yeah.
That was spelled... That was difficult. All right. Like I said, we got to keep it moving. It is 5:10 in the p.m. How is everybody doing on Instagram over here? It's very nice to see you. Thank you for being there. And I don't know if we're on... Yes, we are on YouTube. And it is live. Thank goodness gracious. But there's no comments there yet, which is even better because I can't do so many things. You want to do what are we driving today? What are you driving? What am I driving today? What are you driving today?
I do.
Shout out to David Guards Rad, who is back and in full effect. This is the second one in a row, and he's got another one in the bank, and he will be at Breakfast Club tomorrow to shoot more. So shout out to Guards Rad, and let's see what we are driving today over here on the segment we like to call, What Are You Driving Today? Roll it out. It's funny, it's so same but so different. He's got an exhaust or something on this thing.
On this one?
Yeah, my car doesn't sound like that. I know, right? Alright, so he's got brand new tires, brand new wheels on this. And I can feel, I wonder what sizes he did, because this drives more like our car did when it was stock. And what I mean by that is, the 19s are not doing it any favors, in my opinion.
Yep.
I am now being picky because I'm comparing this to Yellow Car. This is a very, very fair comparison to Yellow Car as far as what they are. Ours is Yellow Car's a 2005 Carrera S. This is a 2006 Carrera S. I think it has the aero package and maybe a couple other options. They should be very, very comparable. And I'm already noticing some significant differences. The engine response is not quite as quick to me as Yellow Car. Now that could be, I think we have a lightweight flywheel and maybe a lightweight clutch if there is such a thing. But that would be about it, other than how the car is driven and broken in. This car has only 32,000 miles on it, so maybe that's part of it. That's about what Yellow Car had on it when we got it. It's got about 50,000 more now. What are your impressions from the passenger seat? If I wasn't talking about all this stuff that I already know,
This feels like a comfortable daily 911. It doesn't feel like a canyon car. It's not as exciting as Kermit.
this is your father's 911.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And there's nothing wrong with that. If it's
No.
a safe, reliable sports car,
I think a lot of people would prefer this car because
think
you can
so,
drive
too.
it more so every day.
it's comfortable. I could go do anything in it. It's not loud.
I mean, this is almost, I mean, I really was serious about the executive car. Like, I feel like you could drive this to the office and not be like,
Right.
both directions. One, your bosses will be happy that it's a sensible choice, but also it's not like the flashiest new.
No. Like
I didn't get a 911 because it's a 911. It's a 997. There's nothing wrong with it. It's such a great car, but the things, I am so claustrophobic having this here. Like, I can't I can't be where I'm used to being, and there's nothing wrong with it. This is how they all are. I just hated it and ripped it all out. What are you driving today? It's a 2006 Carrera S 997. It's got the factory aero kit. This is the private collection, the museum collection of Auto Kennel. Not available for purchase. Yeah, there's definitely exhaust. Maybe he's got a sport exhaust that I don't have or something. So I just put it in the sport. We'll see if that does anything. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I don't like that at all. We realized when we were outside of the car that yellow car has been lightened up a little bit. We've reduced the weight by taking things out of it. This has everything in it, including more stuff that our car doesn't have. So that may be what's accounting for the more executive feel in the ride.
Got it. Yeah, I think executive feel is it's a nice way to put it. It's not exciting for me. And maybe because I'm used to more exciting vehicles, and we just drove a vehicle that was very exciting.
So I think we did this in the right order tonight. We drove that classic long hood hot rod. Now we're driving the 997 as it stands. And in a moment we're going to drive a car that is a 997 that is basically like this, that we built and changed to celebrate more of the old hot rod fashion, feel, drive, everything.
Like the 911R type of feel.
Yes, I mean, I would love to compare our car to the 911R. I don't know how fair that is, but yes, that was absolutely our intentions when we made it. And in fact, that was it. And then they came out with it. We said, oh, let's build the GT3. Like, that was the whole idea. We were going to do the center exhaust and everything. And then that car came out and it was like, oh, well, we can't just straight up copy it now. And then we decided, oh, we'll just kind of make it the Canyon Cruiser, take the seats out, all that crap. And then they came out with the T and launched it in yellow. So we call ours the California for all of the things we've done and changed. But this, it's funny. I'm enjoying it more the second time.
I'm enjoying it on the
I'm
straights.
used to it. Ooh.
It's fun on the straights. You can feel some power. But on the turns, I'm kind of...
Do you think that's me more than the car? Like, maybe because I can come in to turns with more drama, you know?
That feels better.
So coming in a little hot. I like everything about 997s. We had a conversation with Zach Clapman from the Smoking Tire on the show last night on Late Night Playset. The 997 is the car. I mean, it really just is. If you want the most Porsche for the least money, here it is. And I think a stock one is every bit as good as an S. I know a lot of people will disagree with me there. For me, the S is a little bit nicer in town because you have more torque. You're playing with more torque. You know, when you're winding it up, you can't really tell the difference. But in town, the torque is nice. For the canyon driving that we do, there are times when I wish we had the bass so that I could drill it out just a little bit more like we just did.
Yeah, just punch it out.
Yeah, ring it out. Really make the engine sing. And honestly, keep it healthy because that's what Porsche motors need. You gotta move that oil around, especially with the IMS in these cars. All right, I'm excited now to take you for a ride in the yellow car. I love your new purchase. Congrats, welcome to the 997 Club. That was fun.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I would have this car because I already
would
have
too.
this car. So how about you, David?
I would make this a third car, like a daily 911, like something for the city. It's great on the straights. You could really feel the power. Coming downhill was awesome. Once we did that flyby, I really got a feel for it. But it's just not as exciting as an air-cooled car.
So I think with the changes that we made in yellow car, you'll find out in just a few minutes. I think we have everything that we have here, but it's slightly more raw, which
I like more
hopefully
raw.
brings us just a tiny bit back feel and emotion-wise to the classic 911s.
Cool. But if I had this car, I wouldn't be disappointed.
No, and if I had this car, I probably wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah. So I'd still give this one 2 thumbs up. Yeah. I think we like everything we drive.
I know, we're terrible at this.
You know, they all have like a personality. They're all like individuals.
This car is barely broken in at 32,000 miles.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. Feels brand new. Oh, and we were driving with the AC on the whole time.
Oh, no way. Yeah. Is that why I feel super cold?
Oh, David. Love David. I'm going to bring the Instagram audience back over here. Hi, Instagram audience. There we go. There's the pretty face. And the other pretty face will be in here in a second. I'll get mine out of it. What'd you think?
That was fun
Yeah.
to watch.
He's just adorable.
I
That's what I
miss
find. When I
him
shut up,
so
I love him so much. We both we talked about it. I brought it up last night. I go, well, I mean, if it's long, I know there's a lot of things you could cut from me. And I said, is there anything more like? Did you? I remember you talking more. Didn't you talk more? And he's like, well, that's the nice thing about being the editor. He cut a lot of himself out because he had the same type of self. Whatever. It's a process, and the fact that I'm so uncomfortable watching myself in it makes me enjoy him even more. Which the whole thing. I love him so much. So Guards Rad, great job. Another great job. And thanks to Auto Kennel for letting us drive one of their collection cars. It's one of the Paul Kennel collection. It's called the Auto Kennel Museum.
Cool.
For now, anyway. It's new. Collection? I think it's called the museum. Anyway, that's what's going on. I want to talk to you very quickly about Sinclair Insurance and Cruz into Wellness, and then I think we'll do the TBT once Kayla's in here.
Okay.
Because I have a feeling you might have been around for some of those events last year. Porsche events? No? Really? You're new since then? You're new on the scene since then?
I work in the industry, and you know how that is. It's 16 hours a day. I don't get a life of my own for 3 hours after midnight.
All right.
Then I get up again to go to work at 5:30 a.m.
All right. So she was too busy to be there last year, but she'll tell us about it when she's in here. In the meantime, Cruise into Wellness. No. Yep. All right. In the meantime, let's talk about St. Clair Insurance since that's the first card I grabbed. Also, there's too many things here. I need this. Ray Schaefer we need. I don't need that. I definitely don't need that. And we've already got some stuff to throw. It's confetti night. That's what we need. We wanted that for the Porsche when we were at Porsche Experience Center.
Right.
We were going to rent a big confetti cannon. We were going to rent a lot of things. We were going to rent a blimp. We were a remote control blimp. You just were at the PEC, weren't you? Oh, we'll have to talk about that too. Confetti night. There we go. And I don't need this either. Look at that. Because we know what time the show's on now. I don't have to say. It doesn't matter. I was just time traveled with Mrs. Ryan there. We don't need to do that. Now, I hope that none of those things were anything I needed because I got a little sidetracked as I was doing that. St. Clair Insurance. They say all that separates men and boys is the coverage for their toys. St. Clair Insurance is coverage for your toys. In this case, when we say toys, we mean most collectibles, but certainly your auto collection. If you don't have Haggerty insurance, I'm telling you, you're going to want that Haggerty insurance. If you already have Haggerty insurance, I'm telling you, you're going to want that concierge service from Patrick Swayze. Concierge service from St. Clair Insurance from Jeff Sinclair. It's the same thing. It doesn't cost you any more. Your policy number stays the same. It literally just I think it's like a routing issue, really, quite frankly. And what it comes down to for you is when something happens, you get to text Jeff Sinclair versus having to get into the rigmarole of the whole global system. So anyway, it's a really good thing. CoverageForYourToys.com. CoverageForYourToys.com.
CoverageForYourToys.com.
Check out Jeff Sinclair and St. Clair Insurance. In the meantime, I see that you are walking absolutely terribly today, so I don't even want to talk about it, other than I'll tell people that. Your spirits seem great, which is a huge plus.
Yes.
I tell people all the time when you're not there, like I say Ant the other day, and he didn't really realize how your brain is affected by some of this stuff, by MS, and that MS does affect the brain. He was sort of under the impression that it's like physical deterioration, but hey, at least you're still there, but like sometimes you're not, which is a weird one. But but you're fighting MS, and one of the things that helps her MS anyway is the medicinal cannabis and the medicinal CBD products, the medicinal anything from that area. You're doing oils, you're doing tinctures, you're doing
I'm trying everything.
Edible things, gummies, all sorts of stuff. I personally like the rubs. There's these little bombs that kind of smell like Vicks Vapor Rub, but they feel much better. It's just CBD too. Anyway, need a lift lately? Cruise into a healthy 2021 with Cruise into Wellness CBD. The Cruise is with a Z. CruiseIntoWellness.com. Check out CruiseIntoWellness.com. Check out our buddy Rob up there. His store is fantastic. It's up in Santa Cruz. The Cruise is with a Z. That's why. He was just out and about picking up new products and doing new deals and everything. So they're back open. They ship anywhere. Highly recommend. I think we will get a promo code at some point because right now we're using a promo code to give the Kayla, I should bring this up. Kayla, for appearing in person today, you get a $50 gift certificate to Cruise into Wellness. It's 100% true. And I will give you a promo code for that. But I think the way to do it is something else because we want to give the people a promo code, and that incentivizes them to go. Yeah, so we're going to figure that out. But in the meantime, you can't lose with Cruise into Wellness. Again, the Cruise is with a Z. CruiseIntoWellness.com. That felt very professional.
It sounded very formal.
I just blew it there, of course, but previous to that, it sounded very professional. Are we good?
I think so.
I have to think about what I should play for Kayla coming in. I think I only have the theme loaded in here, unless we can Yay! That doesn't feel right. Nope. Oh, too soon. But my next guest. Anyway, you know her as the Car Girl on the YouTube channel, The Car Girl, right?
The car girl.
Fantastic. You can't miss that. YouTube.com/TheCarGirl. Kayla Delehant is here. Come on in, Kayla. I don't know.
Comfortable.
I'm fine.
Truly, it really comes down to that. I'm just going to get your camera here.
I'm so used to just having this right in my face. No, I'm kidding.
Wait a second. What does that mean? What are we? Oh, because of your podcast, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that makes perfect sense. Well, you can bring it as close as you want. I want
no,
you.
this is fine.
No, it needs to be.
Hey, late night playset.
Do you have a character? Is the Car Girl a character? And I'm just finding that out now. Is that what's going on?
No, that's really me, unfortunately. Episode 3 is really me. You see me kind of like getting used in episode 1 to being filmed, and then episode 3 is
Wait,
me.
that's not true. That's not true. This is the one that felt the most... Hang on. All right. Well, let's back this up. All right. Kayla, when did we meet? We met at your... Was it the launch for your podcast?
I met you before.
We did? Okay.
Yeah,
Where?
briefly. Been up to Los Angeles Crest once.
Oh, so it was
Yeah.
at a Breakfast Club thing. Okay. And that's when we first met, but I remember specifically you inviting me to the launch of...
Yes, I did.
Was it for your podcast?
Yes.
Okay. Chicks Talking Cars.
Chicks Talking Cars.
Okay. I went to that event. It was nice. They had a big photo booth. Bruce Brown was there. It was a whole to-do. Then your YouTube channel showed up. I wasn't even expecting that. I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought, Bruce Brown said you were starting a coffee line. We were like, Chicks Talking Cars is a coffee line? I don't know when that makes sense. I don't know, whatever. So we could never really figure it out. But then the YouTube channel made a lot of sense because of the project you were doing.
Yes.
And you're an art person. I want to talk about that. And how you got into cars and everything. I guess I'm trying to figure out, when I started watching the channel, I said, oh, okay, I see this. And it's going to unfold in a direction where at least I thought it was. And then it kind of went in a different direction than I thought it would. And
Oh my God, I don't know if that's good or bad.
well, I complimented you in the first one. I was like, wow, you really know how to use tools. Like, she's cutting through the fiberglass and you're using a grinder really well, which it's not easy unless you know how to do it. And then the last one, I saw you banging a socket on a bumper that was the only part you were trying to rescue from the thing. And I was like, I'm going to turn this off and I'll talk to her when she gets here. So I wanted to find out if I assumed that would be your influence from, say, a producer or a director or someone off camera. But if you just said that that's actually more you, okay,
That
great.
is me. What you see is what you get.
I love that.
Yeah. That's totally me. Like all the singing and the laughter. I don't know if
Everyone
everyone's
loves the
seen,
singing.
but that's me.
Everyone loves the singing.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah. I don't exactly know what I'm doing. I'm actually learning as I go along. I know how to weld. I'm a certified welder. But I worked on boats, not cars. So this is going to be my first opportunity to take that into the automotive industry.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I heard a stomach over there.
That was hers. I'm trying to figure out what to make of you because this already went. I've already got a curveball. All right. Well, what made you start the YouTube channel? We'll start there.
I don't even, well, I was doing the podcast and then I waited for it to come out because I was looking for a project car.
Is the podcast out?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
I decided to do it simultaneously with the channel and get the channel on first. And then that way people can binge the podcast.
Makes perfect
And
sense.
then that's how it'll go. I do have a coffee company. Right now you have to email me directly and we do catering and wholesale and
Holy
it's
shit,
called
that's awesome.
Prohibition Coffee.
That's awesome. Yeah. So that was also true.
That was my
Okay.
coffee,
So the
yes.
coffee, that's who was at the thing. It was
That's
Prohibition
me,
Coffee.
yeah.
Holy crap. That's so cool.
That's me.
Is that the type of thing that wasn't the only place? Is that a truck that goes to like different places?
I
or-
just do, right now I just do events.
Okay.
I mean, events during COVID, but
Well, but like in the movie business, they would call the coffee truck all the time. Is that the type of thing? Would you go to
Yes.
the studio lots and stuff?
because I'm in the PGA, I'm a producer. And before that, I was in art department. I've done everything except camera department. So
That's amazing.
I was like, okay, I'm going to take the coffee and put it on sets. It's really easy to do. Once you meet everybody, I've been doing it since I was 17. So yeah.
So 3 years now. That's
That's
crazy.
that's a long time.
Impressive.
I'm not really going to get there, but but I started out in the music industry.
All right. You tell us where you want to start because what we're doing is we keep going backwards. So you tell us where you want to start and then we'll ramp forward.
I don't know. I mean, I started out in the music industry. I
Doing
can
what?
just go through real
Sure.
fast.
Sure.
I was Les Paul's personal assistant.
You're kidding.
No. So that was my
That's
first job.
incredible.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, but
Some people don't know who he is, though, which is incredible to me. But
Didn't he like invent the electric guitar?
he did invent it. Like
I know he's
that.
credited with that. Anyway.
Yes.
He had a very special, like this, but an old square one, very special microphone that's owned by a friend of mine around the corner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And
I'd
it's
love
same
to
thing
see
on
that.
a wooden plaque and the whole thing.
I'd
It's
have to
beat
see
to
that.
hell. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Wes Dooley. Shout out to Wes Dooley at AAA makes old-fashioned microphones. That's amazing.
Yep.
Come back another time and we'll talk all about that because I could go so deep on music because I'm such a music lover. You were Les Paul's assistant, so
Yes.
you were obviously around the music industry, but that probably just exposed you to entertainment in general.
It exposed me to everything. I traveled the world doing it. And the sister company that they had to the music company was an F1 company. So I lived in Germany
Oh my
for
God.
2 years working with F1. So that was my first,
And Les Paul.
my first exposure, I guess you could say, to both entertainment and automotive. But my first job when I was 16 was actually putting in car stereos and tinting windows.
See, she did it. She went back even further. Did you see that? Everyone
Yeah.
saw that, right? Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't just me.
So I kind of let it go.
And then when I was 14,
I didn't have your average childhood.
Okay.
So I grew up really fast.
Well,
So.
we're almost there.
I grew
We're
up
almost
really
there.
fast.
Let's get back to what the childhood was like.
Okay. Oh, you want to know?
Sure,
Okay.
we're going that way. And then
So-
later, when we're very done, we'll get to yesterday.
Okay. So, growing up, my mom, she was diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma. So when I was in kindergarten, they told her, make a video. You have 3 months. And she ended up living till she was 55.
Oh, my God.
So my whole life, I spent taking care of her. So even every decision I made was, okay, how can this benefit her?
Yeah.
What can I do for her? 'Cause she was a single mom.
How old were you? You said it, but how?
Oh, I mean, I remember.
Well, when it started, anyway.
I was in kindergarten.
That's amazing.
So,
and then through.
Yeah. So she passed away when I was 25. So I remember when I was 7 years old, I would be wheeling her out of the doctor's in a, it was normal to me. That was just the
Yeah,
thing.
I'm so sorry that you had to go through all that, but it absolutely paints a picture of how you became
Yeah.
who you became. Did you ever see the movie Mr. Church? It's an
No, I
Eddie
didn't.
Murphy movie.
I'll have to watch it.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
I really, really do. It's not a movie that anybody knows, but I just watched it
Haven't seen
recently.
it.
It's on the queue to watch with you. It's a really, really good story that it parallels that. I don't want to make this about me,
okay.
but really quickly, I also went through something similar, but my dad was the opposite. He was supposed to live a while, but he died like in 2 months.
fast.
Same thing with the cancer, yeah.
When she finally passed, it was very sudden. So even though I knew she was sick, that's a whole different story, but it was very sudden. So it was really unexpected. But I don't regret anything because it created such a special bond that I don't think normally you would even get with, a parent. And she's the reason why I got into cars, because whether she knew or not, she was actually a car girl. So,
Whoa.
yeah.
Why do you say whether she knew it or not?
I don't think, because she would never.
She wouldn't wear that as a...
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It wouldn't be like, she wouldn't talk about it all the time, but her first car and favorite car was an MG Midget.
Oh, yeah,
It was
she's a car
called
girl.
Gidget the Midget.
Come on.
Gidget
It's
the
even cute
Midget.
and cool.
Yeah, that was her nickname growing up. She was the first female skateboarder on her hometown team. I've got pictures of her jumping over the car on her skateboard.
Holy crap.
My mom was a badass.
It
Yeah, so
sounds
I
like
learned
it.
from her.
So when you were, but in kindergarten that's kind of like when my memory started anyway, was sort of kindergarten. Was she just telling you these stories the whole time?
Oh, she'd drive me around in that car.
Oh, so she was healthy. She got healthy during that in-between time.
She was, so I don't know if you know a lot about it, but you have to be, you go in and out of remission. She was in and out of remission 5 times. Wow. So every 4 years, they consider that remission. So, and then as she got sicker, that's when she sold that car because she realized manual, she can't be doing that.
It's too much, yeah.
Too much. So her other dream car was a Jeep Wrangler. So she finally got the Jeep Wrangler, and that's
Love
what
it.
she had forever.
She loves an open top, though,
Yeah.
doesn't she?
Yeah.
Or didn't she? Sorry.
She did.
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
also a
wow.
lifeguard. So there you go. She loved the beach. I feel that's where
Your
that
mom's
comes from.
awesome.
Yeah, she was.
Did she grow up here? Was she like a
She-
California girl?
Grew up in Florida. Well, she's from Detroit, but grew up in Florida, which
Okay.
is where I'm from.
So
I'm
she went and
first
found the beach.
generation. Yeah, she found her beach.
So you were born in Florida.
I'm born in Florida, first generation.
Where? Doesn't matter, but I'm
A
curious.
town no one's heard of. Stewart.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently.
But I mean, what is that? Like Miami, Tampa,
Well,
Orlando?
It's 45 minutes north of West Palm Beach. That's what I tell everyone.
That helps. That helps.
That's
me.
all
that
they
helps
know
me. Yeah, yeah.
when I say.
We have family in
My
West Palm.
other
I know
thing
that.
is, do you remember the story about Tiger Woods and his wife where she burnt the house down? Right next door to that. That's where I'm from.
You got pulled over. The same thing. Yeah. That's a timely story to bring up. Speaking of yesterday, you were at PECLA yesterday. Let's just talk
was.
cars for a few minutes, and then
Yeah.
we'll get back into all that. You're very fascinating. I could pick apart your childhood for a million years because that's the nice thing about having this position. You get to poke around. But car stuff. How'd you get into cars? And then let's go forward from there.
Oh, I thought we were going to Pecla. So
Oh,
first
well,
you said Pecla.
I did.
So where are we going?
I did.
Which way?
Whatever
tell
you want.
me.
Whatever you want.
Okay, we'll do Pecla real quick.
You frazzled me. I'm all over the place.
It's
now.
it was my first time there, and it was
Wait, no.
amazing. That was my first time ever.
It
Pop
dumbfounds
my
me that
cherry.
you
I'm
are
no longer a
so-
virgin
that
over there.
You are so new to the LA Porsche scene because you're at everything we seem to go to.
Yes.
So it's weird to me. I mean, Took us a long time. It's very cool, but it's weird to me that was the first time, and that's only because it's been closed for COVID, I'm assuming.
Well, my love of cars began with American muscle cars.
Okay.
Yeah. So
See what you did
Porsche
there?
is all
She goes,
brand
you
new.
want to talk about PEC? I'll tell you how I got into cars.
It's
I'm
all
trying to get on her wavelength.
Porsche is all brand new. There you go.
I'm watching it.
Okay, so I just say every time I looked at one, goes, yeah, I don't think that's in my price bracket. The one I want, anyway, it's definitely not in my price bracket. I remember a year ago, I was talking to my friend Owen, and I was telling him, oh, I want that car from Hollywood, Tarantino film. And he's like, oh, yeah, that car.
Oh, Once Upon a Time
yeah.
in Hollywood. The
He's
Carmen
like,
Ghia or the
Porsche.
the classic 911?
So he was like, you mean the $150,000, $200,000 car? Yeah, okay. Get in line. Everybody wants that car. And now I have it because it's the same car that I'm working on.
Is it even? It was same year?
Same year.
I mean, it's certainly,
That's pretty crazy.
That's
That's
amazingly
like
cool.
destiny.
In a year?
Yeah, 1 year ago. I was just talking about this. And he just wrote me the other day, and he was like, that's pretty crazy that we had that conversation. I said, you'll never be able to get that car. And here I am working on it.
Well, screw that guy. You don't need that friend. You know what I mean?
I think you meant it in the nicest way possible, but
I guess. So muscle cars. Why? How and why? Detroit, obviously. I mean, that makes sense. But if you are already in Florida, although they like high horsepower cars in Florida because it's all the straight roads, right?
I fell in love with the car I saw on eBay, and I was 16. I didn't have my driver's license till I was 18. I want to put that out there. Not even a permit.
Okay.
And so I bought a car at 16, and my brother would have to drive me around in it. I worked 3 jobs to buy this Corvette, 72 Corvette. It was black with purple racing stripes. I bought
the Stingray one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sight unseen. They towed it down from Tampa. And I showed up, and my brother was like, you mean I have to put all this under my name, the insurance, the everything, and drive you around in it? So that was my first car.
That's ridiculous. But that was your first car because you wanted it, and you worked 3 jobs to get it.
Yep. I wanted that car. I don't know what it was. I just was like, I want that car. And it was so cheap.
But why didn't you want to drive it? Or you didn't have
I didn't
time
have a
to drive it,
license.
so it didn't matter. I know, but you could have gotten a license.
Well, yeah. Well, he would have also had to teach me,
Oh my gosh,
And
all these
it's
hurdles.
Like my brother's just
Meanwhile,
kinda
you'll work
like,
3 jobs to get the damn
know.
thing.
But I did end up driving it. But like when I first got it, he would drive me around in it. And I honestly think he didn't want to teach me how to drive. So
Yeah,
I could
I'd rather
just
drive it too. Sure, yeah. Free classic Corvette.
Yeah. So that was my first muscle car. But then I've had a few others since then. But yeah.
Okay.
I
How
went-
long were you in Florida before you moved out here?
On and off.
What
my
time did
whole
you move
life.
out? How long ago did you move out here to
I
California?
moved out here when I was 25, officially. I came out
We
here
don't know how
for
old
work.
you are now, so call it 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
A little bit ago.
You blew it by saying what you just said.
I know.
You can't answer my question now.
Years ago. No.
Fantastic. Years
There you
ago. I feel like
Just
this
a
is
few
gonna be
years
one of those
ago.
fluff shows. We're not going to actually get to anything real.
No,
Except the mom thing. That was amazing.
Yeah.
You shared that immediately, and then the rest is like ping pong. Pew!
No, just a few years ago. But I had come out here for work, but I didn't live out here.
Oh, that
because
makes sense.
the entertainment industry is mostly out here. So I was always coming out here for work, and it was a time, and this is actually getting back to my mom, where I thought she was doing better, and she told me she was doing better, and it wasn't the case. But I think she felt she had been holding me back, and I came out here that year, and she passed away like 6 months when I moved out here, and the 2 people that raised me passed away 6 months apart.
Oh, no.
My grandmother and my mother. So there went my whole family besides my brother, basically. I have, I recently got in contact with my father again. So that's been kind of interesting.
Congratulations. Well, I mean, I hope you wanted to, so congratulations.
Yeah.
It'd be a shame if I should have thought it through.
But we've been, making a connection. So, and he's got 2 kids, and I love them so much. And
Sometimes you get to an age where, and I'm not saying you, maybe them, maybe you, whatever, whoever it is, but, sometimes it's just time.
And my brother's a chef. He moved out here from Florida. And he doesn't like cars, even though he liked to drive my cars. He doesn't like cars. He doesn't own a car. He doesn't want to own a car. He's like, I'm good. We're totally opposite. So he likes to drive my cars, but doesn't want to own
Does
them.
he live out here?
He lives in San Francisco, but he wants to move back to Florida because it's too busy for him.
But you don't have any cars there.
No, sorry. He can't drive any of my
SOL,
cars.
bro. All right. Well, it was a few months ago when we met at when you had your party. Maybe
Yes.
6 months ago, maybe almost.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
we're ready for your podcast. Is it coming out soon?
It'll come out soon, yes.
Do we we don't have a date
We
yet.
don't have a date.
But
I want
you're definitely working on it.
Yes, I am. I want to.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
No, it's okay. I just want to do a certain amount. I want to record.
Oh, you want
to
have a bunch in the bank?
Yes.
How
before I
many?
put it
How many
out.
have you done?
I want to put out 6, so I have half of that right now. So
You speak in riddles.
it's kind of difficult because of COVID. As you know,
100%,
a
yeah.
lot of people just either don't feel like they have enough to talk about, or they don't want to see you in person. And I feel like,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you feel this way, but when it's over the internet, you don't get that same interaction or that feeling like when you're talking, it feels really distant and you don't get connected.
I do feel the
Yeah.
same way. I was going to ask you if quality is important to you, like on yours, and that sounds like a shitty question to ask somebody. Like, no, we don't care at all. Listen, what I mean about that is is that something you care about? Obviously, everyone wants to put out a good product, but look around here. I'm like a nutso guy about like the quality and the way things are done, because if I'm going to do this at all, it's going to be this way.
Were
It's that
you a
kind of thing.
producer?
I like you, I did almost everything.
Okay, so
Yes,
there you
I was
go.
in the
That
art department.
explains-
I
that
was absolutely a
explains it.
producer. Most recently, I was a producer, yes.
Yeah, so that's where I come in, and I have my hands on everything, even when it comes down to the editing of my show.
Yeah.
And it drives some people insane.
Well, but beyond that, you know what parts not to, after experience
Yes.
anyway, I learned what parts to not micromanage, because micromanaging will burn you out in your 20s at that job. You know what I mean? Like, you learn very quickly that there's a reason there are departments and such. Compartmentalization. What I'm trying to get to is, and thanks for what you said, I'll take the compliment, but do you care about that stuff?
What do you mean?
Everybody would like to put out a good product. Do you care about the nuts and the bolts and like making sure, it's certain decibel levels and like you said, you don't want to do it over the Zoom. I agree with that because of my
yes.
quality things. We've gotten it down where we can do it pretty well now, better than Zoom anyway, but it's still not the same.
It's not the same. You just don't, you can feel it. Like when I'm listening to something, I know like the interaction is it just
Whether
feels
it's
so
real or not.
distant. Yeah, it just seems fake. I don't know. It's like almost like a phone call. It's just different.
Is it the
just-
connection? You can feel the
Yes,
chemistry or something?
It's the chemistry. But I feel the same way when I'm doing my show, and it's the same way on a podcast or anything. If I'm on it and it has my name on it, I want to make sure that it's a good representation of me and not something that I watch or I listen to and I'm like, that's not who I am at all. I want when people watch or see that that's me. So either they like me or they don't like me, but that's me.
Amen. But that's not a producer talking. That's an artist talking.
Okay, well, I'm both.
No, that's what I agree. I agree with you. But I'm just putting your right hat
Yeah.
on for the thing.
Yeah.
I salute you. I'm the same way. I think any artisty type person
Yes.
is any creative. It's. I see it in my head. Damn it.
But in that aspect, I guess being in the industry, I know what works and what doesn't work. And that's
Experience.
why, I've been so fortunate lately with my channel because I know what works.
Again, you've been fortunate because you're putting out good content. I feel like
I try.
I feel like you're the right person for that. A lot of times people come in here and you can kind of, we're doing this thing, whatever. Every once in a while you can tell when it's like, it's the right person for the right gig at the right time, the whatever. It just feels right. It feels right.
It took me a long time to get there, though, and realize that is what I had been. I was supposed to do this my entire life.
Boom.
I actually sat down recently with my friend, and her and I were talking, and I was like, why the hell did it take so long for me to be at this moment? Because I realized in that conversation that this is what I've been supposed to do my entire life. Like, this is it. It combines everything that I love. Why have I not been doing it? And I think COVID made that possible for a lot of people to be able to put more energy into what they love to do and what they don't feel like they have to do to get by.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where I was because I had that mentality of taking care of my mom. I always, not that I don't love, production stuff, but I was doing projects that I started to do projects that I didn't really have my heart in.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seemed like the same thing as doing a job that you're like, I'm just, working at anywhere where you're just like, it's a paycheck. you know, and I don't want to do that. I want to live each moment doing something that I love because life is so short and precious.
Amen to that. Live it while you got it.
Exactly.
That's my thing, for God's sake. Well, I salute all of that. Every little bit. Every bit. I want more of that on your channel.
I will do that.
You are. I hesitate to say something so simple as like, you're a good person. But like, you again, the energy read is that you are good and positive. I love what you said about, I was supposed to be doing this my whole life. And what do you think kept you from doing it? It's a familiar story, so I know what mine was. What kept you from doing it?
I think in life, you do the things sometimes that you have to do and not the things you always want to do because you have other responsibilities. And even when those responsibilities ended, I'm not going to lie, I didn't take it well. I was sad like every day for a year. I did not wake up being happy like the person I am now.
Depression.
I was, she was my everything, you know, and there are still moments where
mourning
it's like,
too. I mean, it's all the stuff.
Christmas, everything, and people go with families, and I'm like, I can't. You know, there's moments like right now, she would like be watching and go, "This mommy's fan," you know, but no,
well, she is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you believe. I believe,
you know,
I believe that it's all interconnected.
It's ironic that you say that because I want to say 3 years ago, I got reconnected with an ex of mine, and he was flying through, and he was like, "Let's have lunch." So I was like, "Okay." Well, you know, we ended on great terms, and we were talking about it, and he said, "I met your mother, and it would kill her right now to look down and see you so sad. That would be so heartbreaking." And there was something in that moment that when I left that lunch, that was it. I wasn't sad. It was the weird, but it took somebody to just, and I just, ever since that day, you know, there are moments where I tear up, but it's more just like, oh, I miss her. I want to share this with her. But it's not the same like before. Like, it's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Where are you, Mom? I need you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It's like, I know that she's there and I'm doing it. I've had a lot of instances in my life where I'm here for the people that can't be here. And I'm so fortunate. And I have probably lived all my 9 lives. Let's just say that. But that's for another story.
Are you a cat too?
I'm just a badass, and I live through things I probably shouldn't.
Oh, amen. Yeah, amen there. You've lived a lot of lives, it sounds like.
Many.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an old soul, definitely. I've been told that a lot of times.
Me too. You believe in all that stuff?
You know, there are things that happen that don't make sense otherwise. So, you know?
Yeah, I do. I totally agree with you.
Or dreams, or I say something, and then 2 minutes later, somebody will ask the question. They're like, "How'd you know the answer?" Like, they'll just come up to me and I'll give them the answer, and it's weird.
How'd
And I'm
you know
just
I
like,
was
I
gonna
don't
ask?
know.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
I've already seen this Jeopardy.
Yeah, it's like creeps me out to the point where I'm like, okay, maybe I guess it's a real thing. It has to be, right? It's just spirituality. That's all that
Can I
is.
ask you, are you dyslexic?
Sometimes.
Because I have a theory that you just helped. Well, you at least made it a theory more than a hypothesis. I have a theory, and we'll go wide here, that dyslexia this is going to be really heady. Are you okay? I have a theory that dyslexia is a version of seeing the future. You see ahead a little bit. And they think it's the opposite. They think, oh, you're a little confusing.
Now I'm going to have to
The
read
wires get
into
crossed.
this.
Well, no, because somebody that I respect a great deal in the comedy world, Craig Robinson, once told me, he's like, you know what the thing is with you? He's like, you see just a little bit, you see the world just a little bit ahead of everybody else. And I didn't at the time. We were drinking. It was the last time I played drums at that Hot Tub Time Machine rap party in New Orleans. And it was one of those where like, we're all having a good time.
You
like,
worked
yeah,
on
Craig,
that?
me too. You know what I mean? Like we were just having a great time. The energy was amazing. But he would like, same thing as you're talking about, he would start to ask me a question, and before he even got the question, or like he screwed up the words or whatever, but I just gave him the answer instead. And it happened like 2 or 3 times in a row at that bar. And he's like, you know, you're one of those people who you just see things a little bit ahead. That made me think of Jay Leno, who is one of the more famous dyslexics
I worked
in
on
our
his show too.
in
Great
our
guy.
world. Great guy.
Amazing guy.
But his work flow, his work process, his creative process is different than most other comedians that I've ever met, periodly, because he's dyslexic. At least that's what he says. Yeah. So his memory is insane. His vault, like up there, his filing system is nutso. but there's nothing written on a piece of paper anywhere near him
Nope.
because he doesn't do it that way.
Yep.
I don't want to get into the ins and outs of comedy and how that's its own version of being able to predict and manipulate. But back to the dyslexia, I've definitely figured it out with a handful of people. And I bet our mutual friend might be one as well because he's very quick.
Oh, yes.
He's insanely quick, like a little ahead of most people quick. Speaking about can I say his name? our mutual friend Wrench.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I don't know if he's dyslexic,
I don't
but I
know.
would be very curious. Wrench, if you're watching, I would love to know if you're
he's
dyslexic.
watching. Where are you? I'm sure he is.
Yeah, well, he just sent that email.
There you go.
So he's busy. All right, off of that. Sorry. You want to talk very quick about Lit Week last year? I want to show that video, and then we can spend the rest of the time talking about you and the rest of the things you got going on. But I've got to get to it.
Yeah, let's do it. Because
I can't believe that you weren't here.
No,
and part of it.
I was working a lot. Like I said, I think I learned a lot from COVID. I think a lot of people did. You know, you just learn to do more of what makes you happy.
You coming out of your shell? Like, is the Kayla that we're all learning and meeting on the YouTube, is this you coming out of your shell? Like, is this you?
On the 3rd episode, yeah, I'm getting comfortable with the camera.
But I mean more the whole process. Is this process for you? Are you like coming out here like, look, this is what I'm doing now. This is not my old life. This is my new life.
I think I've always been this way, but when you do a different kind of job, you don't get to be that person. Does that make sense? And now I get to work
So you are
and
revealing
be who I
the
am.
real you is.
Yes, exactly.
I think that's fantastic, and I salute you wholeheartedly.
I love her laughter over here and her smile.
That's the only 2 reasons people watch. A lot of the comments on the Misha episode, which again, shout out to Misha, getting huge viewership on that episode. A lot of the comments are, does the lady say anything? When's the lady going to talk? I don't know if you remember that one. We did it right after Breakfast Club, so
Yeah.
we were both super, super chatty and cutting each other off and everything was me too, me too, me too. Anyway, I had to explain to everybody. I'm like, words are tough, but she keeps up just fine.
I hear everything, but I really try not to interject anymore because I just fumble words all the time.
So the TBT.
I do it too. Don't worry.
The TBT we're going to do is from Lit Week last year, and roll it how. I've got that already. Hey-o.
So our award to the driver, best driver, goes to Mr.
I'll see you tomorrow.
I know these people. Oh, hi, Def Sushi. There's all sorts of people.
love my
Look at this. Hi, everybody. We were just trying to find your car.
Can't miss it.
Pop quiz, hot shot. it correct.
Party happened.
Fire started over here, and it burned down the whole building. And you guys really stepped up as a community. People donated tools, they donated materials, they donated money.
You know, the funny thing was, I should pull it up, but the funny thing was only a couple months ago, the guy who I said goodbye to sent me the picture or the video, whatever it was that he took. I thought it was funny.
That's awesome.
I can't believe that was a year ago. I can't believe how much stuff had happened in that week. And I can't believe how much stuff hasn't since.
I thought the same thing.
Newcomb's was open. John Benton's shop. Obviously Sierra Madre, and they're huge to do.
That was crazy. I mean, it makes me want to go, and then I saw the sad part, and I was like, I've seen that. I've seen accidents like that. I can only feel for you guys to actually...
You're talking about the Professor run, and shout out to Ben the Professor and the Professor run. That was a weird morning, too, because he put together a tremendous... A lot of effort goes into making those rallies, and he put through all the effort, and then tons of people showed up. And then, as you saw in the driver's meeting there was a horrible car accident it happened completely no relation to us, but, you know, right there. And some of the people went over to go deal with it. And it wasn't pretty. So, yeah, it was a weird sweet and sour. We didn't go on the run. We didn't even do the last Professor run. We missed it. We went and sat on the porch.
The
He lives
energy
by
was
me.
totally
He does?
different.
I've never met him.
Oh, he's the greatest.
Yeah.
I
haven't
I
met
think
him
he's
yet.
been busy. You know, he's I don't know exactly what's going on with him, but I know he's busy as fuck.
I talked to him on Instagram because he'll post the coyotes, and I'm like, those are my coyotes. You live in my neighborhood. He goes, where do you live? I told him, and he's like, yeah, I do live in your neighborhood.
Oh, that's funny.
So we live close. I just haven't met him.
I hope you get to meet him once, you know, the veil lifts on this whole deal, because he's a great person.
Hopefully soon.
Back to you. I want to spend the rest of the time talking about you, and only the things you want to talk about.
All the
In the
things.
meantime, I should mention, Wrench did chime in, not dyslexic, just fast AF, fast as fuck. And it's true, he is.
He is. That is.
So there goes my.
There you go.
I'm gonna have to do some more research, more field work on that one. So I want to talk about you. How was PECLA yesterday? I went apeshit and found out that it was, you know, your first time.
It was.
But we didn't hear about how.
was.
Did you do driving? Did you just have breakfast? Like, what'd you do?
Oh, I did it all.
Did you really?
No, I didn't do driving.
Oh.
I got there really late. Sorry.
Talking to you.
You got to leave something for next time, don't you know?
Oh, okay.
But
all
I
right.
had a lovely lunch. I got a tour.
Was G.I. Jen there?
She was there.
Oh,
but
great.
I had Eric show me around.
Eric
Skirmins.
Love Eric.
I love Eric too.
Yeah.
When are you gonna have him here?
As soon as he's willing to come, we get confused for each other a lot.
Oh, really?
We don't really look anything alike, but there's apparently
Me with
some
the
mannerisms.
mask and the hat.
No, without that. With
Actually,
it, we look more different, believe it or not.
I was having this conversation with Jen, and I was like, when he wears a mask and a hat, I don't know who he is. He just puts it on and he disappears.
That's most of us, right?
No.
Oh.
Not everyone. I don't think so. Do you really?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, certain people you can identify by their body shape, their hair color,
Yeah.
whatever it happens to be.
I don't know.
Right.
Him, I think he likes it though. I think that's his. I don't have to be like, nobody's going to be like, you. Question.
He tells me, like, we went to that Legacy car show and we were there at the same time. He tells me that 3 different people, before I said hello to him, 3 different people were talking to him about the show before he had to tell them I'm not Jay Ryan. I don't know that that's true, but I tend to believe him.
I can see how you're very similar. You are very
We're
similar.
both very dry, and we both have a tendency to kind of ride the line of how things are acceptable socially because we have our own opinions on it.
You need to wear the motorsport uniform and then like do a picture. You can do twin day or like Halloween. There you go. You can just dress like each other.
He's in significantly better physical shape than I am, but I guess if I got on the bicycle and the treadmill, we could probably figure that out. I want to talk about welding. Why are you a certified welder? Who does
Why?
that? Yeah. Who does that for no reason? There must be a reason.
Well, I moved back to Florida when I left the job in Boston. And
I don't remember.
I don't remember Boston.
okay, so when I worked for Les Paul, I lived in Boston. He lived in Jersey, so it was a short trip, and I worked a lot. Our office was in Boston, so.
You got New York. There's plenty of places in Connecticut in between.
But the main office was in Boston
Fair
of the
enough.
company. So when I left there, Florida. Do you know a lot about Florida? It's high unemployment rate. It's economically not so
It's
wonderful.
a different type of place.
Well, okay, so that's something I would like to say. Just if you know Miami, all of Florida is not like Miami, and a lot of people think it is.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because I was specifically referring to Miami,
Okay.
and my mother used to be in the Keys. She's in Punta Gorda now, if you know where that is.
Oh, where they have most of the hurricanes. Yes, I know that area.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. And she's on they have a boat in their backyard. They have to pull out of the water all the time because of it. Yeah.
So, I went down there and I'm like, what job can I get fast? Because another time, where I came back because my mom was sick, I was like, what can I get fast? And my friend's like, do a job where you're like a minority. I hate to say it, but like minority. And at the time, I went back to school because I have a degree in international relations
Oh my
and
gosh.
business.
Because at some point in there somewhere you got a degree. You skipped that.
I went
No,
to
it's
school
okay.
in London.
Holy shit! I think you're making it all up. I don't think any of this stuff is real.
I went to
anymore.
Regent's College, which is in the middle of Regent's Park. So I went there. I know I never became a diplomat, but here I am. Hopefully we reach some international people today. That'll fulfill that dream.
Well, that's funny you say that. Somebody says, super cool, awesome. I need to call it a night because it's 2 a.m. here in the UK.
We love you.
Have to help out female friend tomorrow.
Female friend.
Her
No, I'm kidding.
991 Carrera convertible battery has gone flat due to lack of use. Good night to you all. That's
Good
from
night.
VW R32.
Oh, we don't even know the name. Good night, VWR32.
What do you cook? Gary?
I care.
Good night, Gary.
Let's make it up.
Let's turn some bubbles on for Gary. Oh, I hope you don't mind. Here we go. Here come the bubbles. Yeah.
I feel like this is a whole new kind of party now. This is bringing me back to Miami.
All right, let's turn the suds on. All right, here we go.
And where's like the flashing lights? Are we gonna get some music here? Yeah.
Well, I got the smoke machine here. We'll do that. There
There
we
you
go.
go.
Shoot it out. There we go. All
I
right.
think that's coming from my car. No.
Do you want to talk about your car at all?
Yeah.
I'm getting worn out.
Okay. So you want me to go through the
I
welding?
want you to
That's
do
fast.
whatever you
Okay.
want. Whatever you want.
So moved back to Florida.
I'm enjoying your company, but
There you
I'll
go.
have to watch this back to see what we
Okay.
talked about.
Moved back to Florida and wanted to do a vocational degree. So I did welding. And that's kind of why I took it. I needed a job fast that I could get. And somebody said there were welding jobs opening up because in Florida there's a lot of TIG welding on boats.
It seems to me like you're
So-
one of those people who the opportunities have presented themselves. You've simply just gone with the story that's presented, that's unfolded before you.
I look
And I'm
I
sorry
see-
about the smoke.
I look and I
Seriously.
see what's available, and I say okay, and I make it happen. Like
Wow.
even when I moved out to California, I had $500 in my pocket. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I just moved out here and I made it happen. I made everything happen that I've done.
Wow. Manifestation, hard work.
Hard work,
Consistency?
definitely. Hard work, not giving up, resilience, tenacity. I think I get that again from my mom.
Those are all
Resilience
good.
and tenacity. So, you know.
Thanks, Mom.
I know. That's like she's giving me some gifts. And that's kind of like how I got into welding, and yeah.
And then from there,
I'm here.
probably got more skilled at it the more work you did.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that when you weld anything fabrication, it's not just like, oh, I'm going to go get a degree and now I'm a welder. It's not like that. It's the time that you put in. And
It's the experience, right?
it's the experience.
Yeah.
And
Flying
so,
is the same thing.
you know, I did it for 10 years and
Professionally?
just on and off.
Holy shit.
I did it in Florida for a couple years professionally, and then on and off for 10, and then I haven't done it since then. So we'll see when I get to everything on my car if I still got it.
Were you doing mainly fab stuff for like the boats, or were you
Both.
fixing like hulls, or what kind of things were
It's
you doing?
both. Most of the work there is like making tuna towers. So like
Oh,
the
no
things that
shit.
people stand on to fish and
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the bridge,
People-
the bridge above the fly bridge.
Yeah, I love when people here go, "You want to go on a boat?" I remember my first time, "You want to go on a boat?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go on a boat." And it's sitting in the bay on the boat, and you're just laying in the sun. I'm like, "Oh, this is what's going on the boat." Okay.
hang
So
out
in
in the marina,
Florida,
you
we
mean?
like go all the way out, and we fit. No, people don't do that here. It's like somebody once told me, "You want to go on a hike?" This is when I first moved out. Now I meet people that really hike. So I go, "Yeah, let's go on a hike." We walked around a golf course,
Oh yeah.
and I was like,
wow.
"This isn't
In
a
Beverly
hike."
Hills.
Yeah, this is not a hike. I'm like, next time she asked me for a hike, I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. No more hike for me.
That's funny. That's funny.
It's different. It's different what people consider here than Florida to hikes and everything else.
Gosh, that's funny. What? How does? I mean, if you had to pick, you've lived so many different places.
I
If you had to
have.
pick a place just based on the place
Where was
or
my
the people
favorite?
or whatever, yeah, where would you choose? Would it be here?
Oh, like to move or to
Yeah, of the places you've been, obviously, or the places you've lived, rather.
all only places I've lived or all places I've visited? That's like two different questions.
Okay, well, answer them both, or neither.
Okay.
Whatever you want. It's your
place-
time.
All the places I've lived. I love California. I like Germany.
Oh wow.
So UK is great, but they make it really hard for Americans to live. They have to prove that no one else in the UK, which I think is a very valuable, law that they have to ensure that people, that are from there get the jobs. But they have to make sure no one else can do it. So they make it difficult.
It's almost like Taft-Hartley, right? Like
Yeah.
you have to declare that, like, no, I'm going to contribute because I'm the only one who can do this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I went there, I specifically went to that school because of the internships that they had there, and I wanted to work for Tony Blair at the time. But because of
Did you?
No, but because of everything that happened with 9/11, they took away all that. So I was never able to do even an internship. But
Holy smokes.
I grew up loving like Princess Diana and stuff.
I'm
and
assuming
it
he was the
my
prime
dream.
minister at the time, right?
He was, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
So
You're fascinating.
That doesn't
but the thing is,
age you.
I feel like I'm the.
I've done it all. No, I'm
I've
kidding.
never been so under-researched before. Like
Yeah.
usually, I'm prepared and I can just have a conversation with
Very
people and
different
we figure it out.
presentation with the YouTube.
Everything is different.
I know.
I told her that when we hung out the other day. I said, she's not like that. She's different. And I had a hard time.
Reading me.
Well, no. The truth is, I had this whole perception of you, and then you showed up, and you're like, "I'm finally me." And I was like, "Oh, well, maybe she was acting the other day. Then I don't know. Were you on your best behavior?"
No, it wasn't me. Oh, some of the conversations that happened the other day, you and I both know.
Not from me.
No, not from you.
That's so funny. So funny.
Yeah. So then car stuff. Let's get back to cars. How about that?
Okay.
Anybody got questions? Did anybody?
Yeah,
ask
there are a lot of
questions?
questions.
There we go.
I'm glad you said that. Let's do
ask the
that.
questions.
Yeah, there were a lot.
There, that'll make it easy. Then you and I can't decide, so it's not a back and forth.
Oh, smart. Look at you. You were a producer at one point.
I was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can tell. Well, for the same reasons, probably.
I just I did short motorcycle series with celebrities and their motorcycles. So and they just
You were hosting it?
No, I produced it. And they just actually, I'm really excited.
You mean you only produced it?
Yeah, I just only produced it.
Well, it's one of those, we're like miscast as the producer
Yeah.
on that show. You should have been on it. Yeah.
But it just showed in front of the regular movies at some theaters in the U.S. So that was really exciting.
That is exciting.
Woohoo.
Do you,
I actually got a paycheck for it. I was like, what? This came in the mail? Okay, for a short? Sure.
that's wonderful. It's deferred payment, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was like, I've never gotten paid for a short, but this is pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Let's see. There were some people here before.
Okay.
Hey, guys, excited about Kayla Delehant. Oh, that was Wrench, of course. Angel Arcadia, I'm sure she will do a great interview. Les Paul, unbelievable. That's Justin Smith. He's a professional guitarist here in Los Angeles. Saw Les in New York City just before he passed. Of course.
Yes. I remember that day. That's how I knew that he was going. He played okay, so here's some Les Paul trivia. You ready? Because you're a music buff.
Sure.
He would sleep all during the day and stay up all night like a real rock star. And he would play every week in New York City. And that week that he missed, I knew that was it. Because prior to that week, he had me ship out his personal items to different museums. And I knew that he knew that it was time. I had him on a phone call with Scotty Moore at the time. Do you know who Scotty Moore is?
I know the
Yep.
name.
Elvis's
Producer?
guitarist.
Oh, guitarist. Okay.
So who was also Elvis's chaperone, whatever you want to say, because he was his personal guardian. Because when he went on tour, Elvis wasn't old enough. And I know the real story about how Elvis got discovered.
Oh, my gosh.
Because he told me
Story
it
for
in the
another day.
kitchen.
Hang on. We'll talk all about music next time.
But
Teaser.
yes, so there you go. I remember that.
That's incredible. Let's go to the questions. I think that it's so fantastic that women have just as much a place restoring old Porsches as any male does, and the car girl is well on her way to building one badass backdated Porsche. That's not a question, but I did jump in by saying I agree with all of this, except I think her car is in 1970, so it will be a date correction versus a backdated. That is correct, right? Yours is a 1970. Is that
It
right?
is.
Okay. So you're
And
making it
what am I
back to
gonna
what
do?
it should have been, what it used to be.
Well, I just had a discussion with Bruce Brown, 964 on Instagram, last night, that I have a special episode I'm planning and trying to put together that is going to show the future of the car.
Oh my! All
So
right.
I can't talk about it
All
yet,
right,
but
so that's a good
it's
teaser to keep your eye on
really
the
amazing.
Car Girl
Yes.
YouTube channel. Look forward to watching it. My new favorite YouTube channel from Felicia Cat. Ed Lawrence is very excited you're here. Were your parents car people? Well, we got into some of this. Yes, your mom sort of was. What got you into cars? We covered that. You sing in your videos. Same guy, Ed Lawrence. You sing in your videos. Do you come from a musical background?
My mother danced for Disney.
Gee whiz. You
So
should be
we-
selling Dos
so,
Equis
yeah.
on a boat in the marina.
So I grew up listening to I love musicals. So I grew up listening to musicals. Favorite Sound of Music. Rest in peace, Christopher Plummer. That broke my heart. If I met, I don't get Star Trek being, in the industry, but there were two people
But Captain
that
Von Trapp would have done it.
No, Julie Andrews. If I
Oh,
meet her,
Julie Andrews.
I'd be like,
Isn't she still alive?
yeah, her. But like, where am I going to meet Julie Andrews?
Can I tell you something?
Really?
Just bear with me
You
for a
know
second.
where I can meet Julie Andrews?
You might see her at the Malibu Kitchen because we see Dick Van Dyke there pretty frequently.
Oh, I sang him happy birthday
Oh, well, there you go.
1 year
Isn't that cool?
at Disney. I really did at that secret restaurant. I actually did that.
Oh, the 23 or whatever. Yeah, upstairs. I love
It wasn't planned. I just was asked. So,
He's a pretty girl and it's Dick's birthday. Get over there.
and he can dance. Like he can get his legs up like this. Oh, it was crazy. I'd never seen anything
He
like
almost
it.
kicked his teeth out when he was getting in his car
Yeah.
with her. He dropped money and everything, and she's like, "Hey, wait, you dropped your money." Oh,
I think
thank you
he
very
loves
much,
the
you know.
ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Your pretty faces, of course. Yeah, he's an old man. What colors are you considering when it goes into paint? This is from EIN 515.
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
You have to wait.
What
It's all up
What
there.
engine do you want to put in it from the same guy?
There's been a lot of talk about people that think what I should do and what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's going to go in the episode. I don't
Okay,
really
good,
want to
good.
give
No,
it
no,
away.
no,
So
that's fine. This is all teasing to your YouTube channel, which is great.
you have to wait for that.
What is your favorite 911 color of all time? The one I'm going to paint this, and you're not going to find
Wow. I don't have one.
Okay.
I mean, I know what I don't like. I don't like red.
Okay.
I
great.
just feel like that's, I don't know. When I see red, I'm like, it's red.
Gummy bears or Sour Patch Kids?
Neither. I don't like gummy. I do not like gummies. Yeah.
You
I
are
like
difficult.
candy, but not gummies.
I love it. I'm the same way, and it's
don't like
because
them. I
we're
don't know,
just
it's weird.
we're just particular for how we are. It's
Or
we're
when
very
people
simple
eat
if you
the
live within
worms.
those parameters.
Who like would want to eat it? I don't know. Gummy worms, I never understood. It's like, ooh.
I
really?
don't like them as a snack.
Okay.
Now that they're medicine, I eat them. But you're right. I'm not going to go to the movie theater and ask for the gummy bears. What would your movie theater candy be in the old days? Like when
The
you could
snow
go?
cones.
Snow cones.
The
Snow caps.
Snow caps.
Yeah,
there you
those
go.
are
Like,
good.
oh.
Those are.
And I loved like how they melt in your mouth.
too,
And they're
yeah.
like, oh.
Milk duds. You like milk duds?
That was my mom's favorite.
Yeah, I like the milk
Yeah.
duds. My dad
We
liked
always
them
had to
too.
get
That's
those,
funny.
yeah.
I get them because my dad liked them. I
I
used
get
to
'em
get
'cause my
Twix.
mom liked
She's
them.
right. That's the only reason I get them. It never occurred to me.
She used to like, oh my God, was it Almond Joy or whatever? I never understood Almond Joy.
Joy's got
too.
nuts,
And I'm
mounds.
just
Don't.
like,
I'm not into it.
yeah, I never
They
understood
both
it.
have coconut? I can't remember. No question. I just want to show the car girl, Kayla, some love. I'm loving the content. Can't wait for the next episode to drop. That's from Mad Dog Mosley.
Woohoo! Oh, I love him. He was on my first Porsche Club LA drive. He saved my life, actually.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, there's a story for some other time. Amazing. We're gonna have
Road
to write a list
rage.
of the stories we need to
Here,
hear.
I'll tell you that real quick. So, road rage. A guy stopped. He wouldn't let me in, and I tried to let him pass. It was really weird. He wouldn't
On a
pass.
Porsche drive with a bunch of Porsches?
Bunch
Oh,
of
jeez.
Porsches, and he wouldn't pass, nor would he let me by. And then in the middle of this drive, there was like a weird place where you could pull, like turn, like a light, and he just stopped in the middle of the road, and I was stuck behind him, and he was in a huge lifted truck, and so nobody in front of that truck could see really. And only the people behind me, and the gentleman that you just mentioned was behind me, and the guy got out of his car. And that guy got out of his car, but what he didn't understand is that guy's, I believe, a CHP officer. I
Mosley?
believe he is.
Mad Dog? Oh, wow.
And he got out of the car and basically looked at him like, "There's no way
You're
this
not-
is happening."
yeah.
And the guy in front of him, in that Porsche in front of the truck, saw the other Porsche get out of the truck, and they both got out, and were just like. And then the end of the guy.
This ain't happening today.
Yes. Nobody knew what
Porsche
was going
gangs, I
on.
love
It was
it.
like crazy. I was like, this happens every time. I'm like, man, I got to go on these some more. It's exciting. It's like a movie.
Drama.
I know. I was like, this is exciting. I just loved it. Apparently, it doesn't happen every time, but it was. I
You're a
liked
lot of
it.
fun, Kayla. I feel like it's an hour and 20. We're way over, but I feel like you're just starting to
Let's
loosen
just
up.
keep going.
She's pretty awesome. I like when she bursts into song. Haha. She's holding an angle grinder on her left hand and a sawzall on the right. What's not to like? That's from Shoe FNY.
Almost sounds like a horror movie.
Yeah, it does. That's exactly the picture he painted. But I think, it's more Sound of Music that you bust into song.
Yeah, I can't beat the Sound of Music. That's my favorite movie.
Favorite movie, favorite musical?
Favorite
Both?
movie, favorite musical. I do
What's
like.
your second favorite musical? Because I love musicals too, and I don't like Sound of Music.
Really?
Well, I don't not like it, but it's not on any lists for me.
Well, how about a newer one? I really liked The Greatest Showman. Some of the songs from that. Wow. There were just some really powerful songs in that.
I mean, there's some wonderful songs in Phantom too, but the
Yeah.
movie was
But I mean, if you're talking about
Unwatchable.
classic, then we'll go classic.
okay.
But
Let's go classic.
I like Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, so do I. But that classic was 1994 or whenever
But-
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
The story is 100 years old.
yes,
or whatever,
that's
from the
what I
Paris
mean.
Opera House. Yeah.
But the newer ones, I really did like some of the music from The Greatest. They were just well written.
I'm with you there.
There was something about that one that was just well written. It wasn't like others.
I'm grateful you didn't say La La Land. I would have.
Oh, I couldn't. I am gonna be honest. Don't hate me.
No, I
I
couldn't do it
couldn't
either.
make it 5 minutes. That movie. I couldn't do it.
it wasn't good.
I couldn't even make it 5 minutes in. I
simply
just
wasn't
couldn't.
good.
I don't get it. I think it was the hype that it was in Hollywood.
It wasn't even
That's
a
why it was
throwback,
one.
a proper throwback to the movies it was supposed to be. I don't know.
It
Don't
don't-
get me
it
started.
was- It was
That's where that
off
quality
the
thing comes in for me.
radar. I don't know.
Stopped in to support and say hi to the car girl. Love her channel. That's from Montana Garage.
Woohoo!
Chris
We
Hunley
love
says
you.
your YouTube episodes have a great pace. Congratulations. More Park Cars and Coffee gives thumbs up. Ed Lawrence, Bruce Brown, Kevin Lynch, Bruce Brown, all these people waving. Kevin Lynch, battery about to die, but love for Porsche Life 111 remains strong. Amen to you, Kevin Lynch. We love you so much and your whole family. You're a talk about a bright light in this community. Bruce Brown says, YouTube, The Car Girl. Great videos by Kayla. Yes. Tell us about Car Girl and the new YouTube. Sounds exciting. All right, this is a sweet montage. Okay. Beautiful.
Dream garage. I mean, what questions do you want to ask? I always get asked that one.
What's your dream garage?
Yeah, what's my dream
Well, what's
garage?
your answer?
Any Formula One car. I am secret, passionate, in love with Formula One.
Why is it a secret?
People don't ever expect me to be into Formula One, so when I say it, they're like, "What? Wait."
Didn't there used to be a Formula One race in Florida, or is there still? I can't remember if it was Tampa or Miami. Didn't there used to be?
Okay, when you're from Stuart, Florida, you don't go to those
It's all
two
NASCAR
places.
down there, right?
Yeah, it's all NASCAR.
Home
Where I'm
state.
from, it's like when you live in Boston, if you don't say you love the Red Sox, you're out. You got to
Yeah.
move. You got to move.
Yeah.
And you best
You
better
wear a
be
Yankee
buying
hat,
the
you're gonna be
gear.
killed. You're gonna be
You
killed
better
on the
be
street.
buying the gear and sporting it, even if you're not a fan.
Yeah, I agree with
So
that.
that's like NASCAR over there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So then I guess the one in Texas is the only one, the Circuit of the Americas,
Yeah.
right? Have you ever been?
No, I haven't been to
Do you
a lot.
want to go?
I want to go to a lot of things.
No, but
but
do you
when is
wanna go to
COVID
that?
ending?
Well, assuming they hold the race and people are going.
Yes.
Because it's the type of thing that you could probably get invited to soon. Or now
Yes.
already, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, if anybody's out there.
That's what I'm getting
I'm
at.
here.
You got to put it out there. You got to put it out there.
Peking to
Camera
Paris. Anybody need a navigator? I'm your girl.
time. You know Kurt, right?
Yeah. Hey, Kurt.
He's the only person I know
I
who's
think
done
he's
it.
doing. He's bringing Derek again, isn't he?
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
I'm sure.
Derek.
They're a good team.
Yeah.
Did they? I can't remember if they won it last year, but they completed it. That's winning it.
Yeah. I mean, I love that car that he just brought to the
912.
Crystal Cove. That was amazing. And I loved how he brought all the dirt in it. And you just looked at it and you felt like you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the way he told the story. And it was just beautiful. I was just like, this is awesome. And my friend was like, it's dirty. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was great.
He was
It's
driving
great.
it up to Breakfast Club right after, too. And I was
Oh,
like,
really?
you're going to lose some of this dirt. It's going to
Dirt?
fall out on the way.
I don't know. I mean, like, I think that's the beauty of it, which a lot of people just don't understand. I mean,
Agree with you. I mean, you see what we
yeah.
do. I totally agree with you.
my favorite car I
Character.
ever owned was the 66 Mustang, and people never understood that. They're like, it's not that expensive compared to other cars. And I'm like, that's my favorite.
Fastback, notchback, what kind of coupe? What kind
Coupe.
Of, yeah.
Yeah.
My grandfather had one of those.
Yeah.
Too.
Blue. I called it my boy Blue. I loved that. That was probably my favorite car I've ever owned.
Black or that really white bone?
It was blue with white stripes. It had like a little
sorry,
metallic flake to
the
it.
interior.
Oh, black.
Oh, black,
It's all
yeah, okay.
black. Yeah, but it was clean. It was a show car. I would drive that thing down Hollywood Boulevard. People would run out in traffic to take pictures. And I
Yeah.
was just like, this is crazy.
That's amazing.
Like, I would pull up next to my friend's car, and she had, like, you know, a Maserati. And at the time, I was like, well, one, I don't like Maseratis. But she would be like, I just don't understand. It's old. And I was like, that's, you know, yeah.
Different strokes for different
I know,
folks,
different
right?
strokes for different
It
modes.
took me a while. We used to be the new, clean, polished people, and now we're who we are. So, I mean, everything's cyclical.
Oh, I like getting my hands dirty. That's why you got to watch my show.
There you go. Check out The Car Girl on YouTube. Kayla, how do people find you? How do people follow you? It's just your name on Instagram,
Yeah,
right?
just my name on Instagram, at Kayla Delehant, or The Car Girl on YouTube.
I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Did you enjoy this experience?
I did.
It's over.
I have to come back to, like, actually talk about the show.
That's what I was going to say. You're a local, you're friend, you're long, just words. You live right around the corner. You can come by anytime. Just
Yeah.
be a friend of the show. Just come by whenever.
I mean, it depends, you know, traffic, it's not local. You know, that's like an hour. But when there's no traffic, was it like 10 minutes?
I don't know. All right. I love everybody. I love you. Let's see. Thank you, Kayla, for being here. Thank you for the whole experience has been very interesting. I look forward to watching the rest of the episode now that I have time for the weekend on the Car Girl YouTube channel. As I said, $50 gift secret to you for thanks to cruisintowellness.com. We'll deal with that afterwards. Mrs. Ryan, thank you so much. Thank you to St. Clair Insurance. Thank you to Cruise into Wellness. And thank you very much to you at home for watching. We really, really appreciate it. That's it. Tomorrow we're Breakfast Club. We're back on the mountain. And we got this stuff. Not this stuff, although I will be wearing this because that's mine.
Are you going to come help me work on my car?
No, when? Where?
You can come help me anytime.
Is it where you live? Is the car local?
It's in Long Beach.
No, it's too far.
Currently.
Masks. If you want a free mask from the Purist Group, or there's still some left over from Spirit of Le Mans, come on out to Breakfast Club tomorrow. If you forget your mask, you can get one of these. And oh my gosh, Kayla, this is from you. It's a Dunkin' Donuts gift card from Kayla for that gift. Oh, here's the receipt. in case I want to return it. Oh, but that
That's how
tells me
you
how
know,
much is on
exactly.
there, probably. Oh, I see. Oh, that's amazing. So, all right. Donuts are on Kayla tomorrow. That's awesome. Thank you for that.
The Car Girl, come watch me restore my 1970 Porsche.
On The Car Girl on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right. And then Good Vibes Breakfast Club tomorrow, Master.
Woohoo.
Love you. Love you. We love you. Love you. Love you. We love you. Have a great weekend.